Let's go to Lethbridge now and bring in our NHL insider, Rich Sutter. And I really appreciate the time, Richie, because he's in the truck. See, he's working. Man, it's been far too long, Rich. How you doing?
Wonderful. How are you?
Good. Would you please tell our wonderful viewers the event that you were at in Saskatoon last week with all those NHL stars? Looked like a blast.
It was with the Fun Group, Mark Lepke and the Fun Group out of Saskatchewan. The fundraiser was awesome. It was for RUH Hospital, the children's side of it, and it was a 2-day event. First day was a gathering with a bunch of the guys that were able to get into town and some of the local kids that leave in the wintertime, and a function that afternoon, evening, fundraiser, and then the golf the next day. And at Wild, it was a great 2 days. I really, really enjoyed it. Lots of good people. And for me to get out and meet new people and especially in the business community in Saskatchewan was awesome for me.
Royal University Hospital Children's Wing is what they were raising money for, and good for you, Richie. Like I say, the photos looked amazing. From a hockey perspective, because it seems like most everybody's on vacation right now, the 1 month hockey takes off is August, if at all. What's on your radar hockey-wise right now as we get ready to open training camps here in not too long?
Well, basically, for me, it's preparation for the year in terms of really paying attention. For me, I do it on a daily basis. Every team, both at the American League level and the NHL levels, anything that's going on with players that might be out of the ordinary or something, you kind of got to track. For me, I like to track trends and tendencies that organizations seem to be leaning towards. Sometimes if you really follow certain clubs, you get a pretty good idea where things are headed in terms of what they're thinking with their rosters. And I just don't mean the 23-man NHL roster, but the NHL farm teams rosters. And knowing cap things, and I mean salary cap with teams going on around the league, Rod, paying really close attention to how teams are handling certain things, because there's going to be some teams that are going to still have to make some moves or try and figure out what they're going to do to get underneath the cap. And for us, we're going to be one of the youngest teams in the league again for the third time in the last 4 years, and probably the youngest we will be in the last 4 years. So we're trying to find something that we're going to get a good chance to get a read with our kids throughout training camp and exhibition, to just see where they're at and feel whether or not we need to bring in some more experience to help guide these guys along. And then if that's the case, then you start zeroing on those teams with cap issues. So that's part of my job, and I love it. That means you got to get out and you got to hit the road and you got to be ready to move it. You know, you could be in one city one day and be on a 2-hour time change the next day on a whim, and you got to be prepared to do that. So personally, for me, I'm prepared to spend the first month on the road from the time I leave here in mid-September.
I got to ask you this now, chatting with you, you mentioned how young you guys are going to be. The Columbus Blue Jackets take Cole Sillinger, 12th overall. He sat in that chair just a couple of weeks ago, and he goes, I'm going to Columbus to make the team. He was born in Columbus, as you probably know. It's a hell of a story. Does he have a chance?
He does. The thing I like about Cole Sillinger might not be the dynamic, talented player like a Kent Johnson, who he drafted ahead of him. We were thrilled that Cole fell to us. And I don't mean falling like he was, like his stock went down. It just other needs by other teams at when their picks came along. And we honestly didn't think we had a shot at him. We had him clearly in the top 10. And when we got him, and after going to watch him play enough over the last 2 years, and then watch him at the World Junior Camp right after we drafted him, Rod, The only thing I was disappointed at the camp with him had nothing to do with him, was that he played left wing the whole time. But for me, I think it's invaluable that these young guys learn to play two positions when you're a forward. And he did not miss a beat playing left wing. The thing I love about Cole Sillinger, he brings something that our organization, and quite frankly, I think the National Hockey League sorely misses and needs, and that's high character people. People that are not going to be afraid to get engaged on the ice, not afraid to play the old Western Hockey League style way, but still be a real good player. And I mean by that, by getting involved. And that's what Cole does. And I've been harping for 5 years in Columbus that we don't have enough players that play an involved, engaged game. And for me, it starts with us. Me personally, I take it personally that I want more Western League kids. And when you start drafting kids, and I don't mean just necessarily the Western Hockey League, I mean Western Canadian kids, period. And it was obvious how our picks were in the first round, Rod. All three of our picks were Saskatchewan, Alberta, and BC boys. So I think we've got a lot of good things to look forward to coming down for our hockey club. And I think Cole is a kid that, with how he plays the game a certain way for a young man that's hard to teach. And he's big enough, he's strong enough. For us, the only thing I'm worried about is he quick enough at this stage. Will he be? Yes, he will be. Will he be right away? Opportunity will tell us that.
Well, he's working on it. And as you know, he has got it all. So congratulations on that, and a lot more Columbus Blue Jackets fans in this area because of that. The viewers are wondering your take on NHL players at the Olympics, and if you think it's going to happen. It sure looks like it is. They've named the coaching staff. They've got a hole in the schedule for it to happen. Would you be surprised if it didn't?
I think it's going to be a go. I think it seems to be pointing in that direction very much so in the last 2 to 3 days. I know it's something they wanted to try and get narrowed down by September 1. There seems to be some noise here in the last 12 to 15 hours that things seem to be falling into place. Look, the players stood there with their arms folded for a year, waiting for this to happen, because that was part of the deal going in when the new CBA was done, was that this was expected to get worked on, expected to be done. And I'm excited. I think it's awesome. It just changes your scheduling around a little bit for everybody, makes it a little bit harder. We've kind of been out of sorts with their scheduling as an NHL and the American League for the last couple of years, and obviously all the other leagues. This will kind of push it back still yet again a little bit more this year, making the schedule a little bit more harder to get through in terms of shorter timelines. But I think that this is something the players have always wanted. I don't think you have a true Olympic sport in hockey, or in ice hockey, what they want to call it, without the best athletes playing in it. And when you want players from around the globe, from all these different countries wanting to play in it, I think it's hard to say no to them. I know the players have kind of bent a little bit in terms of relenting on some things to make it happen. I think the biggest thing has been the pushback, and the holdup has been the insurance. It sounds like they've got something figured out the players will agree with. And if they can do that, it's going to be exciting 2 weeks in the middle of winter.
Rich, you've done enough TV to know what this means. We've got 60 seconds, but I got to ask you about the Jesperi Kotkaniemi offer sheet. It's just blowing my mind. Where does he play this year?
I predict he plays in Carolina. I don't know how Mark Bergevin's going to make it work when he was already against the cap. I think they relent and take the picks and move on. Look, we've been waiting for this to happen ever since it happened last year with Aho. So I'm not surprised. The biggest thing I'm quite surprised about, quite frankly, is that more teams aren't doing it. Because there's players out there, and the teams that can stockpile picks and make these deals make them happen. And we knew it was happening. It was going to happen in Carolina, and it has.
Wonderful. Rich, always good seeing you. You're looking great. Enjoy what's left of summer, and I appreciate the time. Let's do it next week if we can. I feel like we barely covered anything.
Perfect. Give me a call in a few days, and hope all is well. Hello to everyone out there.
Awesome. Thanks, Richie. Appreciate it. Our NHL insider, Rich Sutter. Our visits with Rich brought to you by Original 16 Ultra. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching the RP Show on YouTube. And don't forget, we're live daily on YouTube from noon to 2 Eastern. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. And if you like the program, check around for other segments of The Rod Peterson Show here on YouTube.